All right, now the speaker's on and it's recording. Morning, students. It's Eddie Pretorius here. I'm doing Unit 6 with you guys. I am going to see you this week, but there's a lot of meetings. And I know last week I was absent due to sinus and allergies. So I want to do the data tables with you and the forecast sheet. In class, we did do what was it, goal seek, which was part of your assignment. So now I just want to cover 6.2 and 6.3 with you guys. All right. I'm sharing my screen and let me minimize. So I'm going to open up exercise. It's on Blackboard. Let me just check if this thing is recording. Yes, it is. Okay. Let me minimize my screen. And let me minimize my screen again and again. Anyway, this is the solution. And let me minimize that. So anyway, 6.2 and 6.3. 6.2 is the data table. Sorry. Now you want to know, why are we doing these things? We're doing these things because we are busy now moving to almost like next year. Accounting information systems where we're going to forecast, where we're going to predict, where we're going to determine, where we're going to look at the approximates of values and things. So like I used the example in class, you're running your own business and you made sales for Jan, Feb, March, but now you want to see, based on the season change or based on whatever change, what will be your April, May, June, July, August sales and profits that you make. So this is where we deal with forecasting. So if I go into Excel, this is the starter file, yes, and we go into the data tab, our focus area is this. That scenario manager is next year, AIS B and C. Goal seek we did in class. Data table is what I'm going to do now with you. Maybe we can touch on goal seek just before I finish my lesson and forecasting sheet. So I want to do 6.2 and 6.3 with you, or 6.1.2 and 6.1.3. So basically, this is an example of CPUT as a stationary store. And we need to determine the unit profit of the highest value, the unit profit of the lowest value. We need to get a total profit over there of what we made from the highest and the lowest. We're going to add the two values together, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. We're going to link that value there to that little blue cell E10 over there, and we are going to determine based on 80%. So in other words, that total there, let's highlight it in blue as well, light blue, and that total there should be the same. So if you're boosting your sales or profits to a 90% or 100%, we can determine the value in Rand value by using the column, only one variable, not both, the column variable input and the percentage provided to us over there. In this example, or in this case, it is 80%. So let me light up a smoke here quick. Let's look at the questions of unit 6.1.2. This is your little CPUT has an annual monthly budget salary of staff that includes pens, cookies, diaries, all those things. Each month stationery increased by 10%. But the highest value on that number of stationery is 80%, and the lowest is 20. So we basically need to determine what is the 10% and what is the 90% and the 100%, if I may put it to you like that. So now we're going to use the data table function, which I showed you in Excel over here. Data tab, what if analysis, that table over there, using the column. I'm going to bold that quickly to determine the value starting from 20% and completing the instructions below, which is right up to 100%. So, in J5, the highest profit value, we need to multiply it with a percentage in J6. Let's see what J5 is. That is your J5. In order to determine the unit profit, we need to multiply the 80 with the 80%. In J6, we need to multiply the 10 by the 80, which is the lowest value, and 80, which is the highest value. So, let's read on. Let's do that first two over there. Let's highlight it in yellow. So basically, we want to determine that over there. Like I said in the beginning, that will be linked to that value, and that value, when we do the data variable table on columns, should be the same value as 80%. Why 80? Because that is 80 and that is 80. Let's make the screen a little bit bigger so you can see. And let's move it up, down. Okay, it's in the center. So we need to determine the 90 and the 100. Even the 20, 30, 40, 50s, and 70s. But we know we'll break even with the same value in rand terms. That and that and that should be the same. So step one, we're going to multiply the 80 with the number of stationary items, the 80% with the 80. Straightforward, is equal to, click that with a star, multiply, and 80%. No F4 needed because we're not auto-filling values down. F4 absolute referencing comes into place when we auto-fill values down. So we are just determining the highest value, in this case, which is one value, enter, 64 Rand. That's for the highest value. Now for the lowest value, the same thing is equal to 10 star for multiply with that 80%, which is what? Bah, 8 Rand. So we got that right. Look at the formula bar. We multiplied the 80 with the 80%. Look at the formula bar. We multiplied the F10, what's an I10, sorry, which is the I6 value, which is 10, the lowest value, with the 80%. Right. Now we need to determine something here as follows. In cell J8, we need to determine the total profit by multiplying the highest value of stationary items with the highest unit profit, and we need to add it with the multiplying of the lowest number of stationary with the lowest profit. So what do we do now? Let's see. There we are. J5, this is the solution. J5 and I5. J and I and J. And same for I and J for the highest value. Right, back to the starter file. So I need to multiply that with that in brackets and add it also, that's the highest value, and add it also by multiplying the lowest value, which is that times that. So watch the formula now. In cell J8, like the question reads, is equal to open brackets. I'm going to multiply the 80 star with the 64 Rand. Close brackets. You can't see it there because it's written also in blue. And I'm going to say add. That's the highest value. I'm going to multiply open brackets again. The lowest value star with that 8 Rand over there. Close brackets. And if I enter, I should get a total of 5,200. So it's 80 times 64 in brackets of the highest value, and 8 Rand or 10 units times the 8 Rand unit profit of the lowest value. Multiplied, and we're going to add that two values together, and I get a total of 5,200. But I'm going to change this quickly to yellow so that people can see the formula. Yellow, yellow, and yellow. I'm going to do that 5,200 again. Delete it. Put my cell block in the answer where I want my answer to appear. Is equal to open brackets. I click on the 80. Can you see it's I5 times the 64 Rand? Shift close brackets. And I'm going to, that's the highest value. And I'm going to add it to the lowest value, which is open brackets again. The 10 times The 8 Rand. And I shift close brackets. And my answer, now you can see it better. You can see it there. And you can see it there. Enter. 5,200. So far, so good. Right. That question we did right now. Number 3. Now they want me to link that total in yellow in cell E10, which is light blue, but I changed it to yellow just for you to see. So, right. Linking straightforward is equal to, I click on that 5,200 cell and I press enter. So in other words, that and that is the same. Right, people? Now the party gets real. Now we need to use what we call the data table using the column variable to determine all the values of those percentages as running on the left-hand side over there. So, step 1, select and shade in D10 to E19. Let's read the question. There's a D10 to E19. And now we're going to use this data table feature to determine all the values, especially in that column E, using the one variable column feature and the percentage provided to us, which in this case was that 80%. Right. Which is this question over here. Over there. Over there. Step 1. We shade. Let's do it again. We shade and selected that data over there that they want us to select, because they want us to determine the column E11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, up to 19. Step 2, data tab. Step 3, the what if analysis data table. Now this menu appears. The keyword in that question is column. If they ask us for 2 variables, that means we're going to work in the rows and column. This is an example of a one variable determining the values in column. So always make sure you place your cursor in the column block, column input cell. We're working with the column, not rows. And all that we do now is click on that 80%. And the data table will automatically calculate the 20% value of 52, the 30% value of 5,200, the 40, the 50, the 60, right up to 100% value of the 5,200. And if I click on OK, and voila. What did I say at the beginning of the lesson? Light blue, in this case yellow, link it over there, light blue, yellow, and the 80. Why is the 80% on 5,200? Because we use the 80% over there. If this was a 70% over 40%, then that 26 would have been highlighted, or the 4,550 would have been highlighted in yellow. We don't need to highlight it in yellow. I'm just showing you how to make sense of what a data table using the column variable, because we're working on the 80%. So when you reach that 80, that 52, that 52, and that 5 are supposed to be the same. If we lose 50%, if that was 50 over there, let's see what happens. If I click on 50 over there, 3 to 5, 3 to 5, let's make it a different color. Let's use dark green. We already use 80% as a dark green. Let's use orange, orange, orange. Can you see? As soon as we change the percentage over here, automatically that 50 and that 50 represents in value form 3,250, which is the same as that over there. But we used in this exercise an 80% and automatically 5,2. Let's make him yellow again. Let's make him yellow again. And let's take that color away. Make sense? So students, this is determining an input on column variable using the data table, in this example, based on an 80%. So let me just do that part again. Let's delete everything over here. That part we did already. When we multiplied that with that, we get an answer. That times that, we get an answer. This answer here, we determined by multiplying that with that, the highest value, in brackets, and we added it to the lowest value by multiplying that with that, and then we get a total of 5,200. See the formula over there. Now we're going to link that value of 5,200, and we link it in at cell E10 is equal to, and click on it, enter, and voila. Right. So that value and that value is the same. Now we linked it. Can you see the importance of linking? Now we select the whole table in that PC over there. From D10 to E19. Step 2, data table. Data tab or the menu. We go to the right to what if analysis. Inside what if analysis, we click on the data table. We're not going to work on the row. We're only going to use one variable based on the column percentage. So I click in that box over there, and I click on my 80% over there. And if I press enter or OK, automatically the data table will calculate the values of 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, right up to 100% for me. And voila. Students, that is 6.1.2 data table. We're looking at 8 marks in your November exam. Right. You can watch the video many times. Okay, that is the one exercise. I'm going to exit. I'm going to exit. And I'm going to exit. Right. That is data tables. Now, let's look at, double click, a forecast sheet, which is very similar to charts and graphs. Double click. That's the questions. Right. Blah, 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 blah. You follow the steps, and I'm just going to do the line chart part with you. So, here's your scenario. You were branch manager of Spur. Let's look at the starter file. Forecast sheet, and open that starter file. Let's see what they say here. Right. And these are your April values. So on the 1st of April, you made 18,000 Rand on the day as a branch manager for Spur. On the 2nd of April, you made 18,300. On the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, every day, these are your sales and profits and whatever you made. But you now want to forecast and determine what the rest of my month sales from the 9th to the 25th will be. So that is basically the scenario from the 9th to the 25th. So select and shade A2 to B27. We're going to select this data now. This is another way of determining, forecasting our turnover on a daily, and then we can grand total our turnover or sales for the month. So we're going to create a forecast sheet by selecting the start date, by determining the average aggregate, and positioning the chart so that it fits so we can see it. So this is straightforward, people, not difficult, not a train smash, and here we go. So basically, the scenario is we need to determine the rest of the daily sales. But I want you to notice something. The sheet is going to jump here, and you're going to have to rename a sheet by using the forecasting sheet. All right? So they want us to select all this information from A1 all the way down to 27B. Let's see. And there we go. That's step 1. Step 2, create a forecasting sheet. Data tab, forecast sheet. Same steps, data tab, but not in the what if analysis. We did that. we're going to click on that. Right. Now there's a little options at the bottom. Let's click again. Let me just see something. Cancel. Select everything as they asked us to up to the 25th. Forecast sheet. Okay, cool. Let's read the question. Create by selecting the start date and the end date. Let's see. Options. Let's move that up a bit. Options. The start date, which is what? What did I do? Read the question properly. Read the question properly. I'm checking something here. A2 to B27. I selected from the top A1. That is a merge heading. They want only the date and daily sales to be selected. I thought something was wrong. Not the heading, like the subheading. A2 to be, what's it, 27. And they will tell you in the exams what cells to select. So don't get it twisted and confused. Not A1, A2. Data tab, forecast sheet. There we go. Now we're working on something. Now they want me to add in a start date and an end date. So we're starting on the 9th, I think. And they want me to end on the 25th. But we can't. Oh, sorry. Start, end on the 25th. End and start on the 9th. Oh, 8th. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Let's move that there. Let's read the question. Selecting the start date, the 8th, 9th, yes, run about there till the 25th. Determine the average aggregate duplicate option. Average duplicate using the average. So it's already set for me. It's already set for me in the average format. If you click on there, they want you to count it maybe. They want you to in the maximum format, minimum, or some. But they want us to use just the average, what we're going to make on a daily average, daily average. Starting from the 8th or the 9th. I see it's blurred there. So we can even start from the 7th. But I think let's read from the 8th up to the 25th. So far, so good from the 8th or 9th. Yes, if they say from the 9th, that means the day before the time. Because here it starts on the 8th. In other words, on the 8th of April, we made 15,000. So we're ranging somewhere there between 14, 15, and 18. 15,900. So we're in there. That's where it starts. So it is from the 9th onwards, but the actual fact, we're starting from the 8th date and we're ending to the 25th date at the bottom, almost the end of the month. And all that I do is just say create, students. So remember, you click on options. End date, the end of the month, the 25th. The start date is the 8th. You click on that options. Set everything to average. Everything has been highlighted already. And create. Voila. Look there. From sheet 1, it jumped to sheet 2. And all they want me to do now is move the undo. They want me to move this. Undo again. Redo. Bring it back. They want me to move the chart or this line so that it fits between cells like in something like that over there. Let's read the question. Adjustment G2 to Q26. G2 to MNOP Q or O 20, 25, 26. There we go. And I move it a letter O because my percent. Let's go there. There we go. Students, This is your forecasting sheet. So we did, and we can auto fit that little bit over there just to see the dates from the 9th onwards. That's the daily sales, the lower and the upper confidence. This is the average, 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 average. So what do you notice here? Sales in general drop towards the end of the month. Sales in general drop, the decrease, the devalue towards the end of the month. And same for the upper and lower. The forecasting sales, let's see. Here we go. On average, a decrease, drop, drop, drop as we got to the 25th. Meaning, people did not, in this exercise, did not visit the restaurant or spur, and they did not make a lot of sales from, say, the 20th onwards till the 25th, if you can see there. So basically, this is what a forecasting sheet is all about, to determine and forecast your daily sales of a restaurant, of a company, of a business, of a retail store, or whatever. And obviously, you get two types of charts. You get the bar chart, and in this case, we use the line chart. So now the other part of this exercise, they want us to use exactly the same steps, but instead of using the line chart, they want me to use the bar part, the column chart or bar chart. So we can do it again, no problem. Apply the same steps above, position, but instead of using a line, we want us to use an April column or a bar. It looks like a bar, which is this one over here. So you can see how the sales has declined and declined and depreciated towards the end of the month. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8,000. Can you see a drop? Same thing. So here we go again. I go back to my original. I select and shade in everything. Step 1. Step 2. Data tab, forecast sheet. But now there. One is in line form. One is in column bar form. Same thing. Does forecast end again on the 25th? Options, and we start again on the 8th or 9th. But instead of an average, everything is the same there. But instead of using a line, they want me to use a bar or column chart. And I click on create and it does it for me. And again, I move the chart so that it fits between, undo, so that the chart fits between cells, whatever and whatever. And I just pull it a little bit down to 26. So this is the same exercise, students, forecasting sheet, one in column form and one in line chart form. So that's it. That is our two exercises for last week and this week. So watch the video, practice makes perfect. I'm going to convert this to a YouTube onto my channel as well. And I'm going to upload it to the group chat, ABC. All right. Do you want me to do that goal seek again? Let's see. That's the one exercise. Okay, not that one. Let's go in here. Okay, the one is 6.2. The one is 6.3. Let's go into my flash drive and let me copy 2024 units of learning 6.1. The goal seek exercise, that one that we did in class. And I'm going to do it again with you, minimize, and I'm going to exit and close all my sheets over there. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste and I'm going to do the goal seek with you now quickly. Same thing. Double click. Also determining data. Also predicting information. Also finding approximate. So if that's the question. Right, students? And this, what is that? Goal seek, exit that one. And I want to open up the starter file. Sorry, there we go. And let's wait for it to open a bit. Right. Let's see. Okay. Basically, in a nutshell, they want me to do what? Use the income statement, units of that and that, by using to determine a new net profit of 25,000, but changing the what? The turnover and sales value over there. No problem. So back to my starter file. I must get 25 million, 123, 123. But in order for me to achieve a new net profit of 25 million, I need to determine what sales I need to make in order for me to achieve my 25 million. And by doing that, we can use the goal seek. We're seeking a new net profit, but we need to determine what sales and turnover do I need to sell in order for me to receive and target or seek that 25 million value. So that is the focus area, and that is the focus area. Right. So what do? Step 1, data. Step 2, what if, and goal seek. Right. So I want to set cell D13 of 20 million, and I want to change that value, or I want to determine a new net profit of 25. How many notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25 million, but changing the turnover there. So in other words, I want to achieve 25 million. I need to determine how much sales I need to make in order for me to achieve that goal of 25 million. And there I just did it now. And okay. So in other words, let's push that there. I need to sell 12 point something millions worth of whatever products in order for me to achieve a 25 million net profit. So my current sales was 10 million. In order to achieve 20 million net profit, I need to sell 12 millions worth of items or products in order for me to determine and get my target or my seek or my goal value of 25 million over there. And I click on OK. That's it, students. I will do it again. Undo and undo. And there we are. And I'm going to take that away now. I need to get 25 million over there. And what do I need to sell in order for me to get that 25 million? Data tab. What if analysis, goal seek. I need to change that cell. And I want to change that 20 million to 25 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 notes, all right? And what do I need to change by changing that cell over there? Click in the box there to determine what do I need to do to get that 25 million net profit. And I click on OK. And there it does it for me. Students, that's 6.1 goal seek. So this is your unit 6. 6.1 goal seek. The data table using the variable column, only one variable, and the percentage, and the forecasting sheet to determine the rest of the daily sales for your company or business or whatever you want to run. So students, this is about 3-4 marks. Data table is about 7, 8, 9 marks. And your forecasting sheet is another 4, 5 marks. So let's say 3 and 5 is 8 plus another 8. You're looking at 15, 16, 17 marks for this unit in your final November exam. And yes, next week and the week after is revision week. But I got a couple of meetings. There's a 14th of October meeting. There's the 18th of October meeting. There's a 29th of October meeting that we as lecturers need to attend. Also, you have 2 more tutorial classes which Grace is going to do these things with you. So students, the world is yours. Thank you very much. And I'm going to exit, don't save, exit, go back and exit and go back into my and stop sharing and end the video. And I'm going to convert him now to a YouTube and see what happens. All right.